somehow right. That's all time. That's all time.
Derek Jeter is top 3 shortstop.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. What is this? This is Tanks and Tuddies, presented by Tubbs and Franke. Everyone tuning in, I know you want to hear my takes on the Lions and their injuries. You're going to have to wait. We're going to get to it. We're going to get to the first loss since week 2. We'll get to all that. But first, let's talk about our dynasty. I'm the last undefeated team remaining amongst us 3. Took down Papa Tubbs in Purdue versus Oregon there. It was a good game. It was a little bit tighter than I expected. I thought I was going to blow them out. Now you may be hearing, wow, Purdue versus Oregon, and you blew them out. That's weird. He's not great at the game, and we play on varsity. So Purdue is now, I think I'm ranked like
good, period.
Yeah. I think I'm ranked like 15th in the nation. But we have to play on varsity because of my father not being very good at video games, which why would he? You know, he's 50. How old is he now? 52, turning 53 here in a second. So it's just for fun. But yeah, we're cooking. Can't get a single recruit because it's still Purdue. But we're going to go all out year 1 and win it all. Everyone's ranked in the top 3 of the Big Ten. So it's going to be an absolute battle coming down the stretch here. No more user matchups. So everybody's got to keep it clean. I think, Franke, who did you lose to? He's got the tiebreaker.
I lost
to
Ohio
Ohio State. Yeah, so he's got the tiebreaker between you two. So you need him to lose one to have a matchup between you and I in the Big Ten championship. I guess, assuming I don't lose a game, which I don't think I will. I honestly, like, I say I'm winning easily, but there's been some sweats. You've been on a couple times. Like, Wisconsin was tough. The game after Oregon that I played, I struggled too. So there's still struggles, but I'm trying to get my quarterback and having the conversation.
I struggled against Wisconsin too, and at that point, I think they were 3-5.
Right. Still a tough place to play.
I don't know why we're struggling, but we are. Also, I will say, I thought recruiting was going to be super easy for me, and at the beginning of the year, it looked like it was going to be a cakewalk. I'm now getting just prospects stolen left and right from me, from everybody that's got great pipelines for these kids. Dude, I had the number 1 quarterback. Like, I'm Iowa.
Yeah.
We don't get quarterbacks. And I had the number 1 quarterback in the country locked up for the longest time, and then I got jumped by South Carolina at the last second. So
I'm noticing that too, where I've got them like pretty handily, and then I switched to the hard sell, and I'm looking good, and then all of a sudden they flipped to I've lost 2 to Michigan, 2 to Ohio State, and 1 to another big school. Like I can't beat LSU maybe. So hopefully winning a national championship will help, but we'll see about that.
Thinking the same.
Locks and long, yeah, sure. I mean, there's a chance we could all
make
be
the
in
playoff.
The playoff. Yeah, I was gonna say that'd be cool. Locks and long shots then. Pretty midweek last week for me. I had the over in Army Navy that ended up smacking. 49ers money line on Thursday night in the worst game I've ever watched in my life. Did not hit. Ravens Giants over 43. I said the Ravens could almost do this themselves. We just need a couple points from the Giants. Giants did their job. That hit. It was 35-14. Lions minus 2.5 versus the Bills. That was a loss. They lost outright. Chiefs minus 4 at the Browns. That hit easily. They won by 14. This week, got a few. We got college football playoffs starting. Indiana Notre Dame under 51 minus 112. This game's on Friday. It's a Friday night. The atmosphere is going to be fun. I just don't see a shootout here in 51. That's a lot of points. So I picture like a 28-10 Notre Dame victory. I think they cover the spread, but I liked the under more. Penn State minus 8.5 versus SMU, just going strictly based on I don't think SMU can compete. I did the old, if Penn State played Clemson, what would the score be? And I think Penn State beats Clemson by 2 touchdowns, so therefore they could beat SMU by 9 points. And then we're going Tennessee, Ohio State over 46.5. I'm hoping for a shootout here. I'm scared that Tennessee's not going to be game ready for the cold, but the weather doesn't look bad. It's just cold. I thought about Tennessee spread here. I will be rooting for Tennessee. Got to support the boys teams, and obviously I fucking hate Ohio State, so that was easy. But give me the over there. And then Lions Bears over 48 to round it off. Simple choice here. Just taking Lions overs until it loses because of how bad our defense is. Like, I can see the Bears put up 30 and then hopefully we put up 42 to win. Like, that's just how it's going to be, I think, the rest of the year. So just going to ride the overs until it doesn't hit. And I think I'll go 2-3 weeks probably before the books catch up on this one. So Long shots then. Oh, my record for locks, by the way, was 54, 39, and 1. I went 3-2 last week, so mid. Still open. Terry Arnold over 2.5 picks. He almost had one off of Josh Allen. That was close. Brian Branch, Defensive Player of the Year, not looking good. I've got some thoughts on him later that Franke's going to love. Last week, Browns money line. Don't know why I took that when I had the Chiefs, but I did say one of them is going to hit, and they did. The Chiefs covered, so that was a loss. And the Steelers at the Eagles, that was a loss. They were in that game. They Najee Harris fumbled, and the game really flipped from that point. But it was a 4-point game, and the Steelers were driving. So not a bad look there, but still plus 200. This week, I've got a fun one and a, hey, you know what? This could happen. Jets money line plus 150 versus the Rams. Everybody's riding the Rams about how good they are, blah, blah, blah. I was unimpressed last week. They won a shitty game, and yeah, that's admirable, but their offense looked like shit. Cooper Kupp has declined. Puka Nacua banged up. And the Jets, they have nothing to play for. Why not go out and spoil some teams' seasons? Plus 150.
And they looked great last week.
They did look good. Their defense didn't, but their offense looked pretty damn good. Devontae Adams looks amazing. Wish he would have done it sooner before I was out of the fantasy football playoffs, but that's fine. And then the fun one, I nicknamed this one the Cats Parlay. We're going to do Lions, Bengals, Jags, all in the money line, plus 231. Lions and Bengals are huge favorites. Lions have the Bears. Bengals have the Browns. And then the Jags over the Raiders, plus 231. Love this one. Can't wait to sweat that one out. You can go ahead with your locks and long shots.
Yeah. So locks 61, 47, and 1 still open. The Packers make the playoffs. Getting closer by the week. I think we clinch this week, probably.
Yeah.
I think if we win, we're in. Last week we had the Army Navy over. That hits. We had the Packers money line against the Seahawks. That hit with ease. And then we had Buffalo plus 2.5. That also hit as they won outright. Thanks again for that freebie, like I said. This week we're going Clemson plus 12 against Texas. Quinn Ewers is banged up. It's a playoff game. I think it's going to be tight. If they can just keep it under 2 scores, we're good. Tennessee plus 7. Obviously, I think Tennessee's going to win outright against Ohio State. I don't think Ohio State is that good. And Nico, honestly, has been playing a lot better recently, so we'll take Tennessee plus 7. And then I'm going to take Vikings minus 3.5 against the Seahawks. This is strictly trying to get it before we find out exactly what's going on with Geno. If Geno doesn't play, the Vikings are going to kill them because the Seahawks did not look good with a backup. So long shots. I don't have a record, which is nice to say. Still open. Penn State to make the college football playoff final, and then Oregon to win the college football playoff. Last week we had the Bills money line that hit and the Dolphins money line that did not hit. Who did the Dolphins lose to?
The Texans.
Oh yeah, tough loss there. This week I talked about Tennessee. I'm taking the money line as well, plus 235. And then I'm going to take the Texans money line, plus 114. If you can't tell, there is a theme to my picks this week, at least 2 of them. Texans money line is strictly we don't know what's going on with Patrick Mahomes for sure. And if he's out, I will 100% take CJ Stroud over Carson Wentz. So,
yep.
Also, I will mention, viewers, you can see the new background. You're going to get to travel around the country with me for the next couple weeks. So, enjoy.
By the way, I did look at the Packers clinching scenario. It's with a win or a Falcons and Cardinals loss or a Falcons and Seahawks loss. So, many opportunities there. I was going to say you can mark it as a win if you want. There's literally, it would have to be astronomical for the Packers to somehow miss the playoffs. So,
yeah.
We have no college football to talk about this week. So we're going to go right into NFL, but we are going to go a little bit out of order. We're going to start with Lions and Bills. It was the game of the week. Was it the game of the week? Yeah, right? Yeah, game of the week. Everybody was watching it. Yeah. Initial thoughts are, holy fucking shit. What is my luck that my team is the best team in the league, playing unbelievably well after, like, if you go back 2-3 weeks ago, like go to that Bears game, we were still playing banged up and we were doing a great job. And it's like, wow, they're winning with backups. This is great, blah, blah, blah. Now you fast forward a month later, it's almost Christmas. And it's like, what the fuck, dude? How can we win now? This is insane. It is just, it's so depressing knowing like expectations were obviously high. You're 11-1. Your offense like can score at any point, and it's like, who beats us? And it was like, okay, we can lose, one more and still hold on to the 1 seed, because it was like you get the 1 seed, you got home field advantage all the way through. We're good, but now 1 week and it's all of a sudden like, holy shit, man! Now we have to win out for the home field of playoff advantage, and our defense is full of 7th grade talent. It's insane, and it's so brutal.
This is a smile of enjoyment, I will say.
Yeah, I hate that. Like, you've been a real scumbag about it, and it pisses me off, because this is something that you don't do. You don't smile. I get that you hate the Lions fans, but your boys' team. Like, I never smiled about the Packers putting you in a depressive state. Jordan Love got hurt. You thought the season was over, and I didn't say a word. The only time that I enjoyed your sadness was when we knocked you out of the playoffs 2 years ago, which is a completely different story. But the fact that you're sitting here smirking, sending me tweets, all excited because the Lions are so injured and now I'm depressed.
It's not excitement.
It is. You are loving this shit.
The only thing I'm excited for is the playoff rematch.
Let's go through. We're not going to get, we already went through this. We're not going to get to a playoff rematch because we're getting bounced round 1. We're not going to make the playoffs, or we're not going to win a playoff game. Let's go through Franke's tweets since the Lions lost. Okay, so that's Saturday.
You should just share it on screen.
He said, I'm on my phone. I went back to Dan Campbell's incompetence late in the 4th quarter. I thought this was worse than the onside kick decision, which is saying a lot. And then Franke said, something in the air there. If you watch the video, the guy talking is a word that isn't okay to say anymore. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Oh, Dan Campbell let a bunch of time off the clock. Dude, we were down 10. The defense wasn't going to go 3 and out and get a stop. You're stupid. Moving on. Then he sent Landon Lock transferring. He said, get the fuck out. Sure. Then he sends a picture of not a bone in my body feels bad for them. And the picture is literally photoshopped. Photoshopped.
No.
I can find you the real picture. I didn't do it because I'm not going to put that much hope into it. Not hope, time. That sign, I remember seeing it in the playoffs, and it was, I don't know what am I saying, dude? I don't even know anymore. I'm sitting here trying to blame you. Really, all you've done is piss me off, right? These tweets piss me off. I look at them, and you're taking one stupid fucking fan that's celebrating injuries, and I'm trying to sit here and say that the photo's photoshopped. What the fuck am I saying? I made that shit up. I don't know that it's photoshopped. I remember when we had that playoff run, I saw that, and I was like, oh, cool. There wasn't a Vikings. We're not celebrating injuries. Real Lions fans don't celebrate blowing somebody's kneecap up. It was all, oh my God. Dude, our team is so entirely fucked. It's so fucked.
I will say, yes, I'm not like happy that you guys are injured. It's more the karma, because it feels like all season, like when the Packers and Lions played the first time, I brought up, oh, the Packers are banged up. Like, if you guys beat us, you beat a banged up Packers. Like, it's not that, whatever. And all the fucking responses were, oh, everybody's banged up. Everybody's banged up. You have to learn to play banged up. Karma's a fucking bitch.
Here's the thing. We were banged up too. Banged up versus this is entirely different. There's no word to describe what this is.
I will agree. I saw
a tweet. I should have saved it. I was on Twitter today, which I'm trying to stay off Twitter because it does to me what just happened there, where I explode, right? Because for some reason, I've got Vikings fans. Vikings fans are worse than Packers fans on Twitter when it comes to celebrating our injuries and I've seen some
Vikings fans
shit.
Are scum of the earth.
But there is no word to describe. The tweet that I saw earlier was that there has never been a team with a playoff team also holding the 1 seed with this many injuries. There is no word to describe the horrible injury luck the Lions have had. Now, let's go through it because I didn't even mention. Let's talk about the game. We played the Bills. The Bills looked like they were playing a JV high school football defense, right? And they shut us down. Literally, the game was over. Hindsight 2020. The game was over with 5 minutes left in the first quarter when they stopped us twice. because we only got 2 stops the rest of the game, and they got 1 more. Now, we did have the ball with a chance to win, technically, with that onside kick, and it was a good shot. But let's be real, Jared Goff wasn't get that ball down the field. But let's go through the injuries, right? So just defense. We'll start with just defense. There's nothing really on offense except for the one big one, which we'll get to. But you've got Aiden Hutchinson, done. Aleem McNeil just tore his MCL or tore his ACL, done. Marcus Davenport, out, might come back. I don't even know our other edge rusher. It's been so long now. DJ Reader, hurt. Then you go linebackers. Alex Anzalone, broken forearm, done until maybe playoffs. Then you go Derek Brooks, done probably for the year. Then you go corner. Carlton Davis, fractured his jaw, done for the year. Our safeties are good. But then you look at, you got Melifanu, who's been out all year. You've got Manuel Mosley, who was supposed to come back 6 weeks ago and is just still out. Not sure what's going on there. Amik Robertson, banged up. And then now you've got third strings coming in. Dorsey, absolutely torched by Keon Coleman. And then a couple plays later, shattered his fucking ankle or foot or leg. I don't know. We cannot, you seriously got to look into your training staff, your strength and conditioning guys, because this is insane. That shouldn't happen. Now, granted, there was 2 fluke injuries, right? So you had the Hutchinson was a fluke, which maybe you could argue it wasn't if his bones were a little stronger, but I feel like there was nothing changing that. The Dorsey one was a freak accident. I still haven't seen what happened to Carlton Davis, but people were saying he's not wearing a mouth guard, so he fucked up something in his jaw on a hit, because people take helmets to the chin all the time, but you wear
Branch probably told him to put it in his helmet.
I was just going to make that joke too. Good one there. Yeah, I mean, that's just, we've talked about it all year. The injuries stack it up. It's gotten really bad the last 5 weeks.
Kirby Joseph's still healthy.
Kirby Joseph is healthy. I said I want to talk about Brian Branch, so let's go there. I don't know that there's ever been a player to talk. No, there has been. But on Sunday, he was pissing me off because I was getting CJ Gardner-Johnson vibes with how much he was shit-talking, but also playing the worst game of the year for him. Because he's a stud. Don't get me wrong. He's a great athlete. He's had a great year. But, yes, your corners are getting torched, but your safeties are supposed to help with that, and they were getting beat too. And then, I texted the group chat. I said, I wish you could bet on personal fouls because Branch is going to get one. He didn't get one, but he was talking so much shit. I'm like, dude, what are you even saying right now that makes yourself feel good? Because you look like a clown. You are getting beat so fucking bad. Put your head down, go back to the huddle, and try to get a turnover or something. It is unbelievable. And then the worst injury of all for me, because he's up there with my favorite players, is Montgomery tore his MCL, likely done for the year. Now, the problem that I have with this one is this happened in the first half.
It's officially, they said torn. I thought it was just
I've seen so many different things. I don't know what's real anymore. I saw MCL injury, then I saw torn MCL, then I saw season-ending surgery. I don't know. I would imagine season-ending. But the problem I have here is it happened in the first half. He limped off the field real bad. I'm like, man, don't even put him back in. What's the point? And then second half, he's out there catching passes and taking shots at his legs, and he's getting up slow. He's moving slow. I'm like, what are we doing? And now it's announced he tore his MCL. You need to investigate your training staff that approved him to go back out there. How does that happen? I'm not saying maybe it wasn't torn before, but preventative, hey, man, just take it easy this game.
hey, we're already getting blown out.
We're going to get blown out.
Rest up. Yeah.
And then let's just wrap up the game before I get into future thoughts. Josh Allen, MVP without a doubt. Shout out to him. Helped out my fantasy season. That was the only good part about this game was, hey, I'm getting smacked, but at least my fantasy team's going off because I had Amon-Ra and then Josh Allen.
Yeah, Amon-Ra really fucking pissed me off this week.
The onside kick with 10 minutes left. I've seen multiple takes. I don't know if I've ever seen a decision have such a 50-50 split on good idea, bad idea, or no. Bad idea, not bad idea, because it wasn't a good idea. But let's say bad idea, worth a shot. That'll be our break, right? So, first thing, 10 minutes left, you're down 10. Everybody would normally punt or kick that ball away and play defense, right? Our defense literally had not stopped them. At that point, we didn't have a stop. So my thinking is an analytics guy went up to Dan Campbell or told somebody and said, hey, if you onside kick this, your winning percentage goes up X amount because you can hold them to a field goal, you save time, or they miss a field goal, or they score, miss the extra point. Now you're down 16 instead of 17, and you save a bunch of clock. That's the biggest piece that is making me not hate the decision is one, the defense was playing so horrible that they probably would have scored anyways. It just would have taken longer. Two, there was chances where it could have swung our way. You know, you don't expect them to return the ball to the 5. That kind of ruins everything you just tried to do. And it was a good kick. It had a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Mac Hollins made an unbelievable play to bring that thing down. And I think our returners or our coverage team saw it was maybe going to go over. So they kind of tried to slide behind him and get it. And then he just ran to the 5. So I know you thought it was stupid and idiotic, which, you know, that's just how
I
you are.
never
You're
said
a Lions
that.
hater. You're a Lions hater. It's fine.
I never once said I thought it was a bad idea. Looking at it in hindsight, I do think they probably would have been better to kick it. But also, like you said, it's a 50-50 chance your defense hadn't stopped anybody. It's kind of a horse apiece either way there. I think the game was basically over at halftime anyways.
No, not at halftime. At halftime, we had hope because we were only down 7.
Okay,
so it was like
midway through the
like
third.
I think if you go back and look at my dad and I's text, we text a lot during the game, right? If you go back and look, I think I said at halftime, I said this game is over if we don't get a stop on their opening drive because the Bills got ball. I said if the Bills score, this game's over. We're never going to get a stop. And then I proceeded 4 or 5 more times to say, just get a fucking stop, and we're back in this game because our offense was moving and scoring at will. It's just so brutal.
That's the other thing too. Like with the injuries, is all Lions fans are like, "Oh, we're dead, we're dead, we're dead." Defense can't stop anybody. The defense has been an issue consistently. Like I don't really think it changes you guys that much. Like, yes, the David Montgomery injury hurts, but you have Gibbs. That's part of the whole reason you guys run a 2 running back system. And let's not forget Craig Reynolds. I mean, Craig Reynolds is...
People are saying it's going to be Saki, which is this rookie, or Vaki? Saki?
Yeah, I think it's Vaki.
People are excited to see him, and I'm like, dude, there's a reason we haven't seen him once. But
yeah,
if we're going to get into the future, I've done a lot of soul searching, right? My thought process is you've got the Bears this week. That's a big game. If we can win that game...
I would love a Bears upset.
I look back to the Thanksgiving game, though, and I'm like, our team then was like ages better than the team now. And I'm like, we almost blew that one. So, but if we go out there, we beat the Bears, we look all right, there's hope for the season because you got Niners and Vikings. Those are the real worries, right? But we're not, like, I see all these people talking about we're dead, we're dead, we're dead. You're not fucking dead. You still got probably the best safety duo in the league. Maybe not currently. I don't know how other people are playing. They were. And then you've got Arnold still out there balling. And the Niners just released a cornerback that just got healthy on the IR. I hope we scoop him up. We need a corner. You snag him, and then hopefully you just get some miracle games from some of these practice squad guys that buy in and just have the game of their career. You still got Zadarius Smith rushing the passer.
Washed.
Definitely washed, too. If you watch him, it's kind of like, oof. But it's better than what was there, so it's an improvement.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, if we could have somehow had like the normal, 3 to 4 to 5 injuries for an NFL team in a season, I think we would have cakewalked to the Super Bowl. And that's the part that really sucks. But season's not over. You still got your offense is basically healthy. Your offensive line is unreal. And Gibbs, in his 3 games without Montgomery last year, he went for 100 every game and a touchdown in every single game. He's going to ball out. It's just a matter of can we set it up and get the ball last?
Healthy, I don't know if you would have cakewalked to the Super Bowl. I
think we would have had the bye week, and then I think you wouldn't have had to sweat till the conference championship, depending on what your matchup was.
Yeah, and I guess that's the thing. I was going to say, if you guys would have had to have a rematch with the Packers, like, not just because it's like my team, but
they're
statistically, it is hard to beat.
No bias. The Packers are playing great right now.
I was going to say the Packers are playing great, but also if you would have, like, say we match up in the NFC Championship game, it's after January. Toyotathon is done. I'm not sure how well we're going to be playing at that point, unless the Packers get Toyotathon extended.
You know
but
what would help me out greatly here, Frankie, for your Packers to do for me? The Vikings play the Seahawks. Then they play the Packers.
Yep.
I need the Packers to go out there, 1, win that game so we can lock up the North. 2, beat the fuck out of them and hurt them so we can beat them week 18 if needed for the bye week.
Is it only down to the Lions and the Vikings to be able to win the North?
Yeah, you can't because the
because you guys would have the tiebreaker on us.
We would have the tiebreaker with you.
Yeah. Okay.
Or no, there's 3 games left, so you could go 13-4, and we could go
12 and.
Oh no, that's why,
6.
because the Vikings would beat us and be 13-4.
Oh yeah, so yeah,
and have the tiebreaker
over us.
I don't know what the tiebreaker
because they'd have to win out.
Yeah. So it's either us or the Vikings. Yep.
I'd much rather have the Lions get the conference than the
thing
Vikings.
that is really, really shitty is that the Eagles are not going to lose a game. They've got, I guess, the Commanders
that
this
I
week.
don't know though. Like they looked really good last week, but the week before they didn't.
Too good. Their
defense looks good, but what happens when it comes to playoffs? They have a lot of young guys on defense.
Well, I'm not saying playoffs. I'm saying I need the 1 seed to feel really good about the Lions because then we can rest.
Yeah, no, you guys aren't getting the 1 seed.
We have it right now. We win out.
Yeah, you're not keeping
to win out. Dude, it's going to come down to, I think we beat the Bears. I think we beat the Niners. We just got to beat the Vikings. That'll be a tough game.
Ugh, that's
now, here's
disgusting.
the thing.
I hate that.
Here's the crazy part of this that I was thinking about too. If we beat the Bears and the 49ers, the Vikings will be locked in their playoff seeding that last week if they bench their starters. I mean, I don't think we would because we'd be playing for the 1 seed. But if the
Vikings, I was going to say, if the Vikings went out, they could be playing for the 1 seed.
That's why I'm saying I need the Packers to win that game. You will never see Packers support like that from me again in our lifetime.
Well, so then my question is, if week 18, the Vikings are a game back, and they beat you, I guess it would depend on Philly then.
I don't know. We would have to see
tiebreaker if
we don't have the time. We got to figure out the next tiebreaker.
Yeah,
I think it's NFC record. And I think
it's probably
we would have the same. No. So no, that wouldn't happen. If they lose to you, then they have 3 losses in the NFC, and if we are sitting there,
I'm saying if the Vikings win out until you guys and you. Oh wait, no.
If the Vikings win out until us, they're playing their starters.
Yeah.
So Packers got to win, and the Vikings will probably rest starters because there will be nothing to play for.
Vikings would need 2 losses to basically not be playing for the 1.
Just 1 loss.
No.
Yep. Because if they lose to you guys, they have 3 losses in the NFC, and we would only have 2 losses in the NFC to the Vikings if we lose to the Vikings. Because that's the next tiebreaker is conference record. Because we lost to the Bills and we lost to the Bucks. So if we beat Bears and Niners, we have 1 loss NFC. If the Vikings lose to you, they've lost to the Falcons, Rams, and then the Packers.
Okay.
So that'd be 3 losses in NFC. So we would have the North locked up if you beat them. That's what I need. So then they rest starters, and then we can lock up the 1 seed. But we got to get there first. It's going to be a long 3 weeks, let me tell you. It's going to be.
Yeah, it looks like it's taking a toll on you. Not going to lie.
Dude, I honestly, the last, I had a little bit of a bright spot today. Yesterday was horrible, but I had a bright spot today with you know what? We're already in the playoffs. We're 12-2. Our offense is still unbelievable. And now Gibbs can go out there. And I texted Sid on Sunday and said this too. And I think I might have, kind of put some bad juju on Montgomery, but I said, it sucks that we don't let Gibbs be the workhorse because he's so much better than Montgomery. 2 hours later.
You heard it here first. You can blame the Montgomery injury on Jake.
Yep, that's on me. So let's talk other games, though. We got our Lions talk in. You guys know where I'm at. And I will not be every week I'm not going to come on here and blame our injuries for our losses. If we lose, I'm just going to say, look, man, we're hurt, and it is what it is. I said, we got to figure it out. That's what I'll say. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, if we had this guy and this guy, we would have won it. I got that out today. I got out my thought that, hey, and it's like a lot of teams would say that too. Man, if we had this guy and this guy, we probably would have had a cakewalk. That's not the NFL. People get hurt, I mean, for Christ's sake,
Never
the Eagles
catch
won.
saying
The
that.
Eagles won a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback. So it's just that we're on our third and fourth strings, but it's whatever. I have to watch Vildor cover people this weekend, so I'm very excited for that. We got a few breeze through games. Hop in if you want, but I want to go quick so we can talk about your Packers. Not too much because they played a backup QB, but Rams and Niners, I mentioned it was the worst game of all time. I didn't watch it after the second quarter. Final score, Rams won 12-6. No touchdown scored. Cooper Kupp, no catches. He killed a lot of people's fantasy playoffs. But the Rams, 8-6, very much in
Sneaky.
it. I think they're leading the NFC West, right?
Seahawks still are. I think they have the tiebreaker over the Rams, I believe.
The Rams are in first place. So
Okay,
incorrect.
so the Rams do have the tiebreaker.
Yep. And I think they can run away with it. I think the Seahawks now, of course, with Geno being hurt, who knows there. So Chiefs and Browns. Chiefs won easily, 21-7. Mahomes did his classic late season, season-ending injury scare, and he's going to come out and play on Saturday and probably ball out. So
Do we know that for sure?
What?
That he's playing?
No, he practiced today, and so Schefter tweeted. I saw it when I was pooping. Schefter tweeted, Patrick Mahomes was a full participant in practice today. I'm like, what the fuck? How is that possible? He looked like shit. Then Schefter had to follow it up with, for what it's worth, today was a light practice and tomorrow will be light as well. So they're throwing that out there to try to scheme it up. But
yeah,
I mean, if you're the Chiefs, right? What's the AFC look like for standings? Is anybody on their tail for the playoff or for the 1 seed?
I mean,
the Bills are right there.
Bills, but that's it.
Chiefs would have to lose 2.
Yeah,
and
I don't. They actually have a very tough schedule to finish the year. Chiefs have the Texans, the Steelers, and the Broncos.
Bills need the Chiefs to lose out because the Chiefs have the tiebreaker.
Not the Broncos, but I could see it. And it's,
Broncos
Texans
though,
at home, Chiefs or Steelers in Pittsburgh, Broncos in Denver. So,
and like the Chiefs have not. Look at their last outside of the Browns game.
They might be getting Hollywood Brown back though.
They did lose to the Bills, so the Bills have the tiebreaker. I was looking at it wrong. So Chiefs got to lose 2. Bills win out. What's the Bills' schedule? Bills Patriots, Jets, Patriots.
Yeah.
Bills got the 1 seed. You heard it here first. That's over. That's awesome. You know what I'm really upset about? But sorry, keep going. But it's about the Bills. This was a dream matchup. I feel like a lot of people have been saying, like, man, imagine this for a Super Bowl matchup. I want to watch that game with the Bills healthy because they had a lot of injuries too. I want to see the Bills healthy. I want to see the Lions healthy. I want that week, like 2 or 3. That's when I want that game. And I think it would have been amazing. Not for me because I think we still would have lost, but I think it would have been more fun. Bengals, Titans. The Bengals still have a chance to make the playoffs. Fun fact. The Chargers, if they lose out, Bengals win out. The Bengals are in. And
the Broncos.
Broncos are a non-factor.
I thought the Broncos factored into the Bengals too.
No, they're no.
Yeah, they do.
No.
There's a wild card spot. They would.
The Chargers have the 7th spot right now. So if the Chargers lose out, they go 8-9. If the Bengals win out, they go 9-8. Bengals slide into the 7th spot. The Broncos are 9-5. Did the Bengals beat the Chargers or the Broncos? Broncos. They haven't played them. Oh, so this is probably what you saw. They play the Broncos in 2 weeks. So it probably was if the Broncos lose out and the Bengals win out, the Bengals make the playoffs as well because they'll have the tiebreaker. That's what you saw. Okay. But yeah, Bengals, they beat the Titans, but it wasn't the way it should have been. They only won by 10. Joe Burrow was yelling at his coach on the sideline. It should have been by a lot more. They were up 31-14 going into the 4th, and then they only won 31-27. So
yeah, I mean, Burrow had 2 picks and a fumble, so that alone hurt them. I think the first pick was on the first drive, and then the fumble was like 2 or 3 drives later, and then the last pick was later in the second half. So, I mean, they never really had the chance to pull away. But Chase Brown.
Really good running back.
Awesome.
Really good running back. Yeah.
Wait, did you hear the story about Will Levis?
Oh, yeah. I saw all the TikToks.
Yeah, Gia Duddy at the game, Will Levis
at the
who he
game
picks and gets
and
benched.
replied to a comment that she's not talking to him. She just went.
She
does live in Nashville.
in all caps.
Yep, she does live in Nashville, but
Yep.
Doesn't matter. Gia, that video's out there forever. Those who know. Commanders at the Saints. Commanders won this game. This was more dominant than it looked. Spencer Rattler went in there and kind of balled out a little bit, but some weird clock stuff down the stretch. The clock like stopped when it shouldn't have with 8 seconds left.
And but I counted it out. There still would have been 2 seconds left.
Okay.
So they still would have gotten the playoff.
So Saints score to make it a 1-point game with no time on the clock. They choose to go for it. They didn't get it. So the Commanders win by 1 and keep the playoff hopes alive. Commanders are a team that I am not afraid of in the playoffs, let me tell you. There's only a couple because of the way our defense is.
Are so fraudulent.
I agree. That defense is still bad. Like, nobody's saying it anymore. Also, it's bad.
Jaden Daniels is awesome, but Terry McLaurin is his only weapon.
Yeah.
And now Zach Ertz is injured.
Yep.
And, like, don't get me wrong, Ben Sinnott, I've said his name before. Ben Sinnott's about to have his breakout. I'm legitimately calling this.
You're really good at finding these guys that have their breakouts in the semifinals of fantasy football playoffs.
Oh, no, it's not even for fantasy purposes. Like, I genuinely think Ben Sinnott is going to be a good tight end, and he was just stuck behind Zach Ertz, and now Zach Ertz is probably out for, I'm going to say, the rest of the year. And they're going to let him walk, and Ben Sinnott's going to be a stud next year. So,
okay, we got a couple of fly-throughs here to make up some time. The Ravens killed the Giants, no problem there, 35-14. Cowboys beat the Panthers 30-14. This showed that the Panthers should never, ever, ever be a favorite ever.
Bryce Young kind of went back to a pumpkin.
Cooper Rush.
I think that could be just the Cowboys defense stepped up finally again.
Could be. Jets at the Jags. Jets won 32-25. This game is fun. What's an overtime or no?
No, almost.
They Jets scored with a minute left. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep. Rodgers has a chance to break the Jets franchise record for passing yards in a season. Fun fact.
Embarrassing considering how bad he's been this year.
Exactly. Dolphins at the Texans. Texans won 20-12. This game was unwatchable. Everybody thought it was going to be super high scoring, good for fantasy, and then it was a fucking shitty ass game. Somebody said Tua is the what? Hang on, let me get the joke right before I mess it up. He is the Hawaiian Daniel Jones, and I can't get it out of my head because they kind of have like similar like glimpses, and then he's bad.
I think at times, like I think this week, yes, but I don't.
He was so.
I don't
bad.
think in general, no. Like I would. Tua is still so much better.
You know the other thing
Daniel Jones ever was.
He is. You know the other thing that So Mike McDaniel, first of all, 3-15 against teams above 500. That's got to be somebody's got to be looking at that as, hey, maybe this guy isn't the guy. You know. Also, there's some coaches when their team's down and they fire him up, like Matt LaFleur, Kyle Shanahan, Dan Campbell, even like Mike McCarthy and like Belichick. When their team would be down, they're trying to get him fired up on the sideline. Mike McDaniel's pouting on the sideline. He's sitting there, he's
with his fucking
sad.
Perm and his glasses,
staring at
hitting
his vape,
and
And I'm like, dude, these other teams coaches go around to fire their guys up and say, we could do this, it's not out of reach. Mike McDaniel's sitting there like, man, I hope mom makes meatloaf tonight. I really want some meatloaf. He's good for media, but I don't think he's a good coach. And I'm glad because I don't really like the guy.
I did want to say we didn't talk about this in the last game, not top back real quick, but Brian Thomas. Legit. He is fucking awesome.
Oh my God. Falcons might start Penix.
I told you.
Damn. Yeah, he's really good. Hopefully they can get him a quarterback. That's the thing is that he's been so much better with Mac Jones.
The Jags are literally like a good quarterback away from being back in the playoff conversation.
Yeah, because
didn't they make the playoffs Was it last year or 2 years ago?
I think I want to say COVID year. There's a couple weird teams in the playoffs.
They definitely made it with Trevor Lawrence, though. Trevor Lawrence has made a.
No, I don't
Maybe
think so.
not.
Definitely wasn't 2 years ago because that's the year they took Trayvon Walker first overall.
But like Tank Bigsby and Travis Etienne.
You know what
Good
pissed me off
combo.
about Tank Bigsby is that I drafted him last year. He didn't see the fucking field. Now he's like good. He's not really like fantasy football good though. He's just kind of serviceable as a
Depending.
backup.
If he was
When he
the
had
only
that solo
running back,
start,
yes.
he had that 20, 25 point week that week. So,
Yep.
yeah, I mean, like, and honestly, like, I feel like Trevor Lawrence isn't like bad.
I don't think he's that bad. I also think like their defense is really bad, and I don't think their O-line is very good.
I think it's O-line, and honestly, I think ETN's a little washed, low-key.
I mean, he's not old enough to be washed.
He's injuries enough to be washed, though.
Yeah,
he had an ACL in college and another knee in the NFL.
True.
Couple more breezers here. Well, actually less breezers now, but Broncos over the Colts 31-13. The Colts, the only thing I have from this game is I got two things actually. The Colts ran the worst trick play of all time, and they should let good teams do those trick plays. They ran a throw to the wide receiver, then throw back to Anthony Richardson for, I'm assuming, to throw it again. First of all, the ball was thrown forward, so it wouldn't have been able to pass again. And then the Broncos pick-sixed it. So that was great for my fantasy football team. Had the Broncos as well.
Same.
The other thing is Jonathan Taylor dropped a touchdown on the 1 yard line.
Okay.
That's a bad look.
I have some takes about this that I've seen on Twitter, and I am kind of starting to agree.
That.
No, but I'm kind of starting to agree. No, I agree. It is dumb, but I kind of think that if there's a play like that where the running back or wide receiver or whatever has nobody near them and they're running in, we should just let them have it.
No,
like they're going to score regardless.
No. Don't be a fucking idiot and try to be cool and drop it early because it looks cool.
Yeah, but imagine how many more points we get in the NFL and how much more fun it would be. Like, I'm not saying like if there's a close play, but like if it's a Jonathan Taylor where nobody's within 5 yards of him and he drops it 2 inches before the goal line.
You should not be rewarded for being a fucking idiot. So dumb. So dumb.
I mean, I don't disagree. I agree. Just like literally hold the ball. Hold the ball out and then drop it. Like, how about you do that?
Or now when you do score again, make a joke out of it and carry it with you the whole fucking time. There's
just
like
sprint straight into the back wall.
The whole try to be cool for the cameras is plague in the NFL. And I honestly, like, I can't believe and not even the NFL, college too. There have been so many fumbles at the one. It started with Deshaun Jackson. He did it that many years ago, and everybody wants to be Deshaun Jackson, drop it early, kind of like throw it back too, so it goes at the guys. Like, it's just carry the ball over the goal line, spike it, or, toss it, whatever. It's really easy to not be fucking stupid. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Broncos keep winning. Yeah, Bo Nix also played terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. Bailed out by his defense. He had 3 picks on 130 yards.
I think Pat Surtain got injured, by the way.
Did he?
I think so.
Yeah,
I don't know how bad, but I thought he got injured.
Eagles and Steelers, we kind of hit on a little bit while we were talking about the NFC playoff picture. Steelers are a good team. I don't think they have the offense to get it done, but they're a good team. I think they can win a playoff game or two. But
one.
They're just, if it's not working for them, it doesn't work well. Like, the run game was non-existent. And then it's hard to get going that way.
Well, now TJ Watt injured.
TJ Watt hurt.
Didn't look good.
And then, their defense looked like bad at times too, and that's their best piece. So I think they'll be fine. I think they'll win a playoff game. Maybe the Steelers being in conference championships and Super Bowls is good for football. They are one of those teams that, like, you're used to seeing them on the scoreboard.
The national brand.
Colors. Yeah, it's good for the league, but not when you. I always picture Mason Rudolph. I can't get Pittsburgh being bad out of my head, but sometimes I go back and think back to Big Ben Prime, Hines Ward, Santonio Holmes, Jerome Bettis. Yeah, good times there.
Yeah.
Pats and Cardinals, I got nothing here. Shout out to James Conner, though. He had a good week. You got anything on that game? Cardinals won 30-17, by the way. Not out of it yet.
No,
Marvin Harrison Jr., bust?
No.
Maybe bust.
No.
2 for 32 on 6 catches.
Just use him.
It's so 687 yards, 7 touchdowns. Not too good.
The
Especially when you're
Cardinals
the
are
number
like
one option and like the only option.
the Cardinals are just one like
Might be a bust. Another Ohio State
elite
bust.
first round talent wide receiver away from being elite. That's all I need is one first round
Just
talent wide
another
receiver.
first round wide receiver.
No, just one of them. Oh wait,
just one. Oh,
never
yeah,
mind.
I got one. Yeah.
Yep. They should. I think the real problem is they need a taller quarterback.
I agree. Kyler Murray, I think, is not very good, and he looks like he'll have games where he looks from. That's weird, dude. I don't
think he's bad, but
I just realized, Kyler Murray was really fucking good right around the time Call of Duty came out, and then now that Call of Duty's been out for a while, now he's bad again. Maybe he waited a little bit. It was
double XP.
Maybe he waited a little bit to play.
Maybe. I mean, he wasn't bad. He did get injured. A fluke injury this week.
I wish you could see a couple more games.
Is there a way to see how many targets? Oh,
Marvin Harrison, he had 6.
Brother. Yeah,
Total
no,
on the
listen
season?
to this. Yeah. He's got 92 targets for 47 receptions.
That's bad. That shows that you can't get that ball.
Kyler Murray is bad.
No. You're doing your glazing thing again. How many of those are drops? He had some bad drops in the Lions game, I remember. But that was obviously ages ago.
There should be a way to look at that too.
Bucks killed the Chargers 40-17. Mike Evans doing everything he can to get his 11th straight 1,000-yard season. Baker Mayfield's cooking. Can't wait to watch the Bucks in the playoffs. I just hope it's not playing us. I don't think
I'm very afraid to have to play the Bucks in the first round.
Yeah. Well, it's like last year when we played the Bucks, I was like, whatever. And then you're watching that game and you're like, Jesus Christ, like Baker's just cooking. Baker's baking. Yeah. Chargers, they're kind of heading down a scary path. J.K. Dobbins is out. They had no run game. And then Justin Herbert just getting destroyed. He takes some of the ugliest looking hits you'll ever see.
Yeah.
It's scary every time you watch him play. And then finally to your team, I'll get my thoughts out. First of all, well, no, it didn't matter. That parlay lost. I was going to say, fuck Brandon McManus. He killed my parlay, but it lost on another leg anyways. Stupid bet there. What the fuck am I doing putting kicking props in a parlay?
That was dumb.
The other thing is you got the inverse Packers this week. Really good hot start first half, second half fell off.
Coasted.
And honestly, I think part of it is a backup quarterback coming in. It's like, we don't really need to do anything.
Yeah. Well, also we started mixing in different running backs in the second half a little bit more. I think they just slowed it down a lot. I'm not worried about the second half at all.
No, I think at halftime it was over 20-3. Like 20-3, you break it down and think about it, it's a 3-score game. Like it was over. I will say it was strange to see us basically run the entire first drive.
Yeah. And I don't mind it. Like I feel like, especially with Jordan Love, like I feel like we've seen Love take a few drives to like really get in the groove. And so I'm not against just grounding and pounding Josh Jacobs 8 runs on the first drive, and then we'll mix in some dump offs on the second drive. And
what the first
Jordan
drive
Love's
was,
warm, let's warm it up.
What the first drive was the Josh Jacobs.
100% every play.
I just looked at it. I realized it on Sunday when I was watching too, but it was every play except for one. Jordan Love scrambled for a gain of 1, but the rest of that, Josh Jacobs single-handedly went 60.
I think after the first,
he had 66
yards. I think after the first quarter, he had.
Oh, there was a penalty 50, too. I take it back.
I think, well, maybe it wasn't after the first quarter. I think he had like 57 yards rushing and 38 yards receiving after like the first quarter. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
I had him over 13.5 receiving in my parlay. I was like, this is meant to be. And fucking Jackson Smith and Jigba couldn't score a touchdown.
Yeah.
But yeah, Packers look great. You watch them like they were in coast mode because the backup came in, but their defense is flying around.
Yeah, no, the defense honestly looks really good. And I just wish that we could get healthy in the secondary. Apparently Jair didn't play this week. Yeah, that's true. Jair didn't play this week, and it wasn't.
When do you cut the guy? He won't fucking play.
The minute the Super Bowl is done.
Yeah, is he a bitch or what? Like this dude.
We lift the trophy,
months.
And then we say, "By the way, Jair, peace. Nice knowing you."
What are we 2-3 seasons in a row of him being hurt?
Yeah, he didn't play a game in December last year, I don't think.
Yeah.
And then this year, again, he hasn't played a game. Maybe he just doesn't like Toyotathon.
I think he
Um,
also like isn't very good anymore either. Like
no, he's
he's
very
kind of
good when he's on
washed.
the field.
No, I disagree. There was one game I remember watching. He looked terrible. He was getting burnt. He was
He
getting
must have
burnt.
been banged up, but
Also, that was also months ago, so I could get mixed up with somebody
yeah.
else.
No, I mean, I love the way our offense looks right now. Christian Watson actually catching balls is awesome.
He was good.
And it's like, I love that I can basically guarantee at least 2 to 3 big chunk plays to Christian Watson throughout the game, every game. Like,
And
it's just fun. I know it's coming at some point. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say Andy didn't fumble, so that's good.
Yeah. The one thing I will say, so I've seen some delusional Packer fans recently. Don't get me wrong, I fucking love Tucker Kraft. He's awesome. But I saw a tweet and it was like, I think we need to have the discussion about Tucker Kraft. And somebody's like, top 5 question mark? The guy was like, I'm just saying. And I was like, hold up. Tucker Kraft is cool and great and like fun guy. Not a top 5 tight end in the
No.
league. Like,
Let's rank tight ends. Where would we put
maybe
him?
top
So,
10.
one, I'm going
McBride 1.
McBride 1.
Kittle 2.
I'll put Kittle 2. Brock Bowers is
3.
up there.
Yep. Kelsey, I feel like you still have to put up in the top 5.
Yep. I'm thinking Laporta.
Mark
5.
Andrews, Laporta.
I don't know about
Mark Andrews. I guess you could
I think he's
keep
slipped.
out of there. Yeah.
I would rather have Kraft than Andrews.
Njoku.
Njoku,
healthy.
yep.
Johnny Smith. Dalton
Johnny
Schultz.
Smith for sure. Dalton Schultz, I'd rather have Kraft.
Okay.
I'd say top 10. Definitely not top 5, though.
Yeah,
But
no, I would agree with that.
You're going to say top 10, though, and then it's like you could
Dallas
definitely argue
Goedert,
top 5.
TJ
I mean,
Hawkinson.
you can argue you'd not
Your
maybe
guy,
not
Kyle
rather
Pitts.
have, but fuck Kyle Pitts. Like Tucker Kraft over Sam Laporta is arguable because of the year Laporta's having. He's not really. I mean, he had a great game actually on Sunday. That's outlier though, I guess. But injuries and all that shit. But you know what?
No,
you know what
Packers...
tight end I randomly thought about? Noah Fant. That dude like had such high praise coming out of the Iowa. You know,
he's actually been
university.
good recently though,
and he's had like a good career. But people were talking like, oh, Travis Kelce 2.0.
Yeah,
you know, nothing like the Kyle Pitts hype that I fell for 3 fucking years now.
Yep.
But yeah. Anything else?
No. Yeah.
Packers
have
are a
you
good team.
seen the stat about our losses? Who we've lost to?
I know that the NFC North is amazing. Okay, so you lost to the Eagles, I see, Vikings, and then the Lions twice. Yeah. I mean, that's playing the NFC North, man. It's unlucky that you had to play the Eagles too.
It's also it's so bad that like those are our losses because it's like it. Granted, all of them were close. I think 3 of the 4 losses were 1-score games, but it's just like we gotta beat the fucking.
Yep, 3 of the 4.
The high talent, like we gotta beat the big dogs. We just haven't done it. Like,
well, and the Eagles game was in Brazil, so that's outlier.
That's true. That's a fluke.
If you somehow got the Eagles in Lambeau, you might have won that game. Yeah, I mean, it's the NFC North is fucking crazy, which of course it is because it's the best season the Lions have ever had in my life, and it's fucking wasted. The fact that we might not even win the North with the start to the year we had, unbelievable.
Yeah,
but I gotta stop doing that because it's just gonna take up every episode. Monday night, stinker. Let's start with the biggest stinker: Falcons 15, Raiders 9. I literally have nothing there. Pretty cool that the Raiders had a chance
didn't
to
watch
win,
it.
But
I shouldn't say I didn't watch it.
The only thing I watched for in that game is I had Kirk Cousins throw a pick, and he threw one when I was still at bowling so that I didn't have to watch anymore.
I watched about for 2 or 3 minutes just to see what Bijan was doing.
Bijan had a good night. Yep, Bijan had a good night.
Unfortunately.
Oh, yep, forgot you were playing him too. Bears and Vikings, Justin Jefferson had a good – what did he put up for yards? He had a good night, right?
79.
I had him 80 plus in a parlay.
73. 7 for 73 and a touchdown.
That's
it should have been.
Wow, 13 fucking targets. That's crazy.
Yeah, it should have been 8 for about 103 and 3 touchdowns. So.
Bears dumpster fire. They've given up. It's over. It's They're so bad.
Dude,
What's their schedule? They got a gauntlet,
legitimately
don't they? The
the
Bears'
Bears.
schedule is crazy. Listen
The fact that
to
they
okay, so listen to what they had to go through. Packers, like
wait,
this is
before you go any further, let's not forget they started the season 4-2.
they started 4-2, right? And it's look who they played though. Titans, they won. They lost to the Texans, lost to the Colts. Beat the Rams, which is actually crazy. But then beat the Panthers, beat the Jags, lost to the Commanders, lost to the Cardinals, lost to the Patriots. This is where the gauntlet really starts.
They beat the Rams
Vikings,
when everybody was
Lions,
injured.
Packers, Vikings, Lions, Niners, Vikings. Now they've got the Lions. Then they've got the Seahawks, which I guess if Gino's out, and then they finished the year against the Packers. That's a gauntlet.
Which is automatically a loss. So
Which, like, being in the NFC North is automatically a gauntlet, and it's even worse if you're not an all-time team. Like, these three teams are going to go down as, like, some of the best in their franchise's history. Maybe not the Packers. Packers have had a lot more good teams. But Vikings and Lions, definitely some of the best teams in their history. So
yeah,
also,
I will say,
fuck Sam Darnold. How is that guy good? Like, I've been waiting all year for him to go back to a pumpkin, and he has a couple times, and the defense saved his fucking ass. Like, Sam fucking Darnold is going to get the 1 seed in the NFC North if the Lions don't clutch up. That's insane.
Yeah.
Hey, this podcast has to do its job. The Lions and the Packers need to keep the Vikings out of the 1 seed. Darnold does not deserve it.
I will agree with that. But no, during this Vikings-Bears game, there were multiple times that I wasn't cheering for the Bears. Well, I was kind of cheering for the Bears. I needed points because I was playing the Vikings defense. If Caleb Williams would just run, it's literally the exact opposite of Justin Fields. Justin Fields was known for running too early and giving up on the play. Mm-hmm. Caleb sits way too long. Yep. There were so many broken plays where he had wide open space in front of him. No line. Line is split out already. Run.
Like, he is
just
literally
run.
He's a rookie, so he gets time, but he is bad right now. Because in the Lions game, he did it, and look what happened. They came back and almost fucking won it. He was scrambling like a madman, and it was working. Mm-hmm. So he's young, so he gets an excuse, but right now he's bad. Not bust potential yet, though. Okay. Paige's picks quickly then. Not bad. This is the earliest we've ever done Paige's picks, but we also took out a whole college football. But we did talk a lot about the Lions. So,
I'm so
last week,
this weekend.
Paige and I went 12-4. That was very good. And you went 13-3, of course. Can't ever let us get any ground back. Thursday, Broncos at the Chargers. I'm taking the Broncos for the simple fact that I have a future on the Bengals to make the playoffs. I would love if the Chargers can keep losing. I think they're easier to get out of the playoffs than the Broncos, so I'm taking the Broncos.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chargers. I don't really know why, but I'm gonna take the Chargers, I guess. Paige is also on the Chargers.
Mm-hmm. And then Saturday, Texans at the Chiefs. By the way, if you have time on Saturday, sit your ass on a couch and watch some football. We got it's.
I have family Christmases on Saturday.
I do too, so I'll be watching car football. But man, you got college football playoff games, you got NFL games, and the NFL games are like good too. They're not shit, you know.
Yeah, I guess.
Steelers Ravens will be a good game, and then Texans Chiefs if Mahomes plays.
Depending on Mahomes, yeah.
Speaking of Texans at the Chiefs, I'm taking the Chiefs. I'm going to gamble and say that Mahomes is going to play. I think they're pulling some black magic. He's going to get the Satan's blessing to keep playing and winning. Give me the Chiefs. If Mahomes doesn't play, I know the Texans will probably win. But it would be kind of funny if they lost to Carson Wentz. So I'll stick with the Chiefs no matter what.
For you, I won't be in a legal betting state, but for you, I would take whatever team ends up as the dog at game time. Because A, this is a Saturday game. Mm-hmm. B, it's already going to be a tight game if both teams are healthy. C, if the Chiefs are the dogs, you're taking the Chiefs as dogs. Like, that's self-explanatory. And D, if the Texans are dogs, you're taking the Texans as dogs against potentially a Chiefs team that might lose Patrick Mahomes somewhere throughout this game.
Here's the thing, though. I'm a CJ Stroud hater through and through just because of the Ohio State thing. I do respect him. He's a pretty good quarterback. But I know that guy can't play football outdoors. And I got to imagine Kansas City. It's going to be cold. It's going to be chilly. Give me the Chiefs.
It's going to be an early day game, though.
It's still Kansas City, though. It'll be cold. Like, for somebody that lives in Houston, Texas, and plays indoors.
Yeah, but he played at Ohio State.
And he played horrible in outdoor freezing cold games. Hence,
That's
Michigan, 2 in a row, lost them both.
That's true. Paige and I are taking the Texans.
Yep. Steelers at the Ravens. We're all on the Ravens. I thought about going Steelers, but I think the downfall is happening. Lamar, 1-4 versus the Steelers as a starter. However, they look very good right now.
Yep.
Sunday, Giants at the Falcons. We're all on the Falcons. Pretty self-explanatory there. Hopefully Penix plays. That'd be cool. And then Lions at the Bears. Paige and I have the Lions, and shocker, Franke wants to be a fucking douchebag, but I don't hate it. I like it's just like I said on Thanksgiving. Like, any team could beat us right now. Not any team, but any team on our schedule could beat us. Like,
I have the room to take some risks. That's my big risk of the week. So,
I think you had one more bigger risk. Oh, yeah, technically,
yeah.
I don't know if you're gonna. I don't know if you're gonna stick with it, but
yeah.
Browns at the Bengals. We've all got the Bengals. Titans at the Colts. I'm going to go ahead and lead it off here. I'm taking the Titans. I think they will start Mason Rudolph, and he looked okay. It's the Colts, man. The Colts aren't good. This is a battle of bad. Titans almost beat the Bengals. Not really, but I like the spot.
Yeah, I'm taking the Colts. So is Paige.
Paige is taking the Colts too. That's a bad spot. Richardson, ass. Rams at the Jets. Rams at the Jets. Jets are my long shot. I figured I'd ride it here too. Why not? Rams are also like maybe a look ahead spot. I don't know who they play next week, but I'm going to call it a look ahead spot.
I just looked at it too, and I forgot who they play. Paige and I are going to take the Rams. I almost thought about taking the Jets here too. I think it's a sneaky spot for the Jets to get another win.
Mm-hmm. Eagles at the Commanders. You and I've got the Eagles because we know ball, and Paige threw out the Commanders.
Yeah. Paige, do you have a reason why you're taking the Commanders over the Eagles?
Because I want Jake to grow his lead and not get embarrassed.
Said she just doesn't care about the Eagles.
Yeah, they're a very good football team.
Or the Commanders. Did you hear that?
Yep. Cardinals at the Panthers. Paige and I have the Cardinals. You watched Bryce Young play football last weekend and said you want the Panthers.
This is more of I just needed one different. I'm gonna stick with it. I'll take the Panthers. Yeah. I hope we get a shootout.
You never know.
For Marv's case.
You never know. Vikings at the Seahawks. We've all got the Vikings, especially with the unknown with Geno. That's an easy layup.
The Cardinals are playing the Panthers. You took the Cardinals.
Yeah, I stay with the
Cardinals.
Okay.
Patriots at the Bills. We've all got the Bills. Jags at the Raiders. Paige and I have the Jags, and you have an interesting one. Are you sticking with it, or are you going to switch?
So I have a tie right now because neither of these teams deserve a win. They're both relevant. This game is probably going to be the least watched football game of all football history.
Yeah.
Like even considering games that weren't on TV.
It's gonna have negative viewers.
I mean, this is this game. I feel like if both teams are eliminated from the playoffs, why even play the game?
Yeah.
Well,
draft.
Just give it to the fucking. Who cares? Whatever team looks like the worst dumpster fire. It's probably the Giants at this point. I guess I'll take the Raiders. I'll be different.
Okay, there you go. I had the Raiders initially. I will say that.
No,
I switched. I flipped.
Yeah, no, I'll take the Raiders. Hopefully, a shootout for Brian Thomas Jr.
There you go. And Jacoby Myers. I got to win the consolation.
Yep.
49ers at the Dolphins. Paige and I are taking the Dolphins, even though. Oh wait, 49ers are under 500, right? Because Mike McDaniel can actually be under 500 teams. There we go. Yep, I'm sticking with the Dolphins. I was gonna flip, but the Dolphins can win this game. It's also at home. I love the home factor.
I'll take the Niners. They're pissed off after last week, and they got a long rest. So
it's true. Hopefully, I really want the Dolphins to go out there, beat them up, so that way we have cakewalk with the Niners. We do have to go to Santa Clara though.
As long as Achane puts up points.
Bucks Bucks at the Cowboys, Sunday Night Football. I'm taking the Bucks. You've got the
Yeah.
Bucks. Paige is going Cowboys. She never learns.
Paige is going Cowboys.
They have 6 wins, though. I guess that's not that bad. They're 6-8. And then Saints at the Packers, Monday Night Football, the biggest layup of all time. The Packers are going to destroy them. Why did this not get flexed?
We might see Malik Willis in this game.
I would
That's
argue.
my hot take.
Packers minus 13.5, honestly, is enticing. Like, they should win this game by 40.
Yeah.
Like, so Spencer Rattler came in, and he looked good, but that was against the Commanders' defense. So
If Jair plays this week, I mean,
Jair's washed. Saints probably win if he plays. So be careful what you wish for, bud.
no, we're fine.
That wraps us up, though.
Soupy's back.
I'm out of it, man. The Lions have me so depressed. I ain't gonna lie. So depressed. I put too much into football. Now I understand why people that like knit and like, I read novels, like they're so happy. Like there's no emotions.
So you're gonna pick up
involved
knitting.
there. No, fuck no. But like sports fans are always like, there's a depressing stage that happens when you get eliminated from the playoffs, when you don't even make the playoffs, or like I've never seen the green side. I've never seen, what do they say? The cool side of the pillow. I've never seen that. Every year it's just sad at one point. Actually, I did. Michigan won it all last year. That was great. That was one of the best nights of my life. But
Super Bowls are fun.
Followed it up the following week with the worst fucking night of my life. So not good, when the Lions got eliminated. So, But hey, we're not eliminated yet. Let's wrap up. Shout out to everybody that's still alive in their fantasy football matchups. Frankie and I are in the same league, both on the other side of the semifinals. That would be good for the podcast. Let's go out there and both win. So we match up in the final.
Championship?
Yeah, that would be sweet. We can agree to just split the pot, and then whoever wins gets the trophy in the ring.
We just bench both of our teams. Tie it.
That would be hilarious. No, I was saying you split the payout, and then whoever wins gets the trophy and the rings.
Oh.
I did that my first year I joined it, and then I regretted it.
Hopefully nobody's listening.
If you split, if you split the payout, you both get 200. I think it's like maybe 225, 250. No, 225.
So you're scared of my team.
But if you no, it was a joke. The splitting is dumb, is what I'm trying to say here, because the winner gets 300, second place gets 175. So if you split, you get $50 more. I can make $50 on a parlay right now. Whip up a fucking NBA first basket parlay, 9 cents for 50.
Giannis tonight, as we win the NBA Cup.
Probably.
So,
there's only one game tonight. That's right. That's it. Sorry, I'm yapping. Have a great weekend. Let's hit some tanks, adore some tutties. We'll see you next week. Everybody have good luck in your fantasy matchups, and go Lions.
Peace. Rocky Top.